Hey, what's going on, guys? It's me again, the Real News Gospel, Manny. For those of you that don't know me, we've been reading out the book of Matthew for the last 5 days, because today we're reading Matthew chapter 5. And to all y'all that were watching yesterday, I'm 5 days THC free, and I just hit 24-hour alcohol free. Like I said, hey, it's about giving up what, like the stuff that I like to do, and really surrender to God. And I've just been, it's been in my calling right there to, like, hey, get sober, man, get sober. So you know what, I'm leaning, I'm gonna trust the Lord, and I'm gonna get sober, and then when the homie Tina wedding come in, whatever, if we take a couple drinks, cool, but we're not gonna get blacked out like when I used to go to college, boom, 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 drink, chug, 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 then I'm blacked out. I'm like, bro, I was only at the party for like an hour. What do you mean it's already 8 a.m.? What the heck happened last night? I'm looking at all these videos and stuff. I'm like, what? That was really me? So we're gonna read. So I just want to give you guys an update. 5 days THC free, 24 hours alcohol free. Let's go. We're gonna turn that 24 into 48, a 48 into 72, and a 72 into 96. And so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, one day at a time, minute by second, minute by minute, hour by hour. Breakfast to lunch, lunch to dinner, day by day, Sunday to Sunday, homies. Let's go. This is the ESV version, I believe. And it's a study Bible, right? So it goes a little depth right here in those little like passages right here at the bottom. But Matthew chapter 5. The Sermon on the Mount. Seeing the crowds, he went up on the mountain, and when he sat down, his disciples came to him. The Beatitudes. And he opened his mouth and taught them, saying, Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be satisfied. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall receive mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when others revile you and persecute you and utter all kinds of evil against you falsely on my account. Rejoice and be glad, for your reward is great in heaven, for so they persecuted the prophets who were here before you. Salt and light. You are the salt of the earth, but if salt has lost its taste, how shall its saltiness be restored? It is no longer good for anything except to be thrown out and trampled under people's feet. You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. Nor do people light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a stand, and it gives light to all in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, so that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father who is in heaven. Christ came to fulfill the law. Right? That's where we at. Verse 17. Do not think that I have come to abolish the law of the prophets. Do not think that I have come to abolish the law or the prophets. I have not come to abolish them, but to fulfill them. For truly I say to you, until heaven and earth pass away, not an iota, not a dot, will pass from the law until all is accomplished. Therefore, whoever relaxes one of the least of these commandments and teaches others to do the same will be called least in the kingdom of heaven. But whoever does them and teaches them will be called great in the kingdom of heaven. For I tell you, unless your righteousness exceeds that of the scribes and Pharisees, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. That's pretty scary, man. Anger. You have heard that it was said to those of old. You have heard that it was said to those of old, you shall not murder, and whoever murders will be liable to judgment. But I say to you, that everyone who is angry with his brother will be liable to judgment. Whoever insults his brother will be liable to the council, and whoever says, you fool, will be liable to the hell of fire. So if you are offering your gift at the altar, and remember that your brother has something against you, leave your gift before the altar and go. First be reconciled to your brother, and then come and offer your gift. Come to terms quickly with your accuser while you are going with him to court, lest your accuser hand you over to the judge, and the judge to the guard, and you be put in prison. Truly I say to you, you will never get out until you have paid the last penny. Lust. You have heard that it was said, you shall not commit adultery, but I say to you that everyone who looks at a woman with lustful intent has already committed adultery with her in his heart. If your right eye causes you to sin, tear it out and throw it away. For it is better that you lose one of your members than that. When it is better to lose one of your members than that of your whole body, than that to your whole body be thrown into hell. And if your right hand causes you to sin, cut it off and throw it away. For it is better that you lose one of your members than that your whole body goes into hell. I was struggling right there, man. Divorce. It was also said, whoever divorces his wife, let him give her a certificate of divorce. But I say to you that everyone who divorces his wife except on the ground of sexual immorality makes her commit adultery, and whoever marries a divorced woman commits adultery. Oaths. Again, you have heard that it was said to those of old, you shall not swear falsely, but shall perform to the Lord what you have sworn. But I say to you, do not take an oath at all, either by heaven, for it is the throne of God, or by the earth, for it is his footstool, or by Jerusalem. For it is the city of the great king. And do not take an oath by your head, for you cannot make one hair white or black. Let what you say be simply yes or no. Anything more than this comes from evil. Retaliation. You have heard that it was said, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. But I say to you, do not resist the one who is evil. But if anyone slaps you on the right cheek, turn to him the other also. And if anyone would sue you and take your tunic, let him have your cloak as well. And if anyone forces you to go 1 mile, go with him 2 miles. Give to the one who begs from you, and do not refuse the one who would borrow from you. Love your enemies. You have heard that it was said, you shall love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I say to you, love your enemy and pray for those who persecute you, so you may be sons of your Father who is in heaven. For he makes his sun rise on the evil and on the good, and send rain on those on the just and on the unjust. For if you love those who love you, what reward do you have? Do not even the tax collectors do the same? And if you only greet your brothers, what more are you doing than others? Do not even the Gentiles do the same? You therefore must be perfect as your heavenly Father is perfect. Man, I was struggling to read that one. But so Matthew chapter 5. So that's what we got, right? You know, Jesus was giving that beautiful sermon right there. So everything that he gave, was because of that, right? So he taught us about the Beatitudes, you know, how we are just, it's also when you're following this work of God and everything, you know, we are going to be persecuted. People are going to talk crap to us. People are going to blast us. Hey, bro, you this and that. But guess what? Jesus was perfect, and they still condemned him to get crucified. They still chose to liberate Barabbas, you know, watch the Passion of Christ, and they did crucify the most perfect man on earth, the Son of God, right? The salt and light. So what that means is of course, you know, us, disciples of Christ, we're the salt of the world, right?